What is up, guys, gals, and non-binary pals? My name is Naomi. Welcome to House of Miscellania. If you're just joining me for the first time, hello, welcome. If you're coming back to see me, welcome back. I'm going to be doing something a little different tonight, and I am going to be doing a kit up and chat. I finished my mystery that we were doing for September/October, and because I now have some free time, I want to kit something else up. And this is a new to me shop as far as working on a canvas goes from Muni Made. I will get into that. And then I've got my usual tarot cards that I will be going over at about the halfway point after I've caught you guys up. I'm saving myself about, I don't know, at least 5 minutes and not explaining tools to you and things like that. So I can get honestly right into things. And I can use that time to tell you a little bit about Muni Made, how it works, all that fun stuff. And my nails that I just got done are actually a little hint to what's in here. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to shuffle tarot cards because I was asked how the best way is to do it. So I'm going to do that too. I'm going to get these out of the way, though, and I will be kitting up into my fakey Elizabeth Ward containers. Why do I say fakey Elizabeth Ward containers? Well, these are not actually Elizabeth Ward's. They are the ones that you can get from AliExpress or Temu or whatever. And the reason that I select these is because I like being able to see the colors. And I actually have 2 of them here. I bought 4 because I like to be able to mix and match sizes. Because as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different sizes that you can choose from. Like there's the 3 that are right here in a row and then the 4th one here. So depending on how big your bags of drills are, you can kit them up into different sizes. So depending on the size containers that you're using, you can fit, I mean, I had 48 in the last one that I kitted up and it only went to here. So that was 52. It just depends on how many you're trying to fit into these as to how many it will fit. Because like you can see, this one is full and there's 34. Sorry, I did all that counting in front of you. I'll probably speed through that. But, you know, this only has 34, but this one has like 52 in it. So, you know, if depending on how you mix and match the sizes. Anyways, let me get into the canvas that I'm going to be going over. And I will pop up on the screen here in the little eye. You will see the unboxing for Blue's Room by Tally Sketch from Muni Made, and I'm just gonna show you what the canvas looks like, but it is so cute. There's lots of color blocking in this, so it's not gonna take me any time at all, and there's only 51 colors, but I needed to unroll it anyways because that's where my sticker sheet is. Now these stickers, excuse me, are individually on here. And the nice thing about them is that each one is a single sticker. The only issue, I guess, that I have with it is they're really big, but the containers are pretty good sized, and so it should be fine. But I love that I get a good size sticker here. And then it gives me some info on the bottom. She's a 50 by 70, so not massive. That's actually kind of a snacky size for me. Now this one is a 1.5 kit. She's had 1.5 and then 2.0 for her squares. This is a square kit. So the drill field on this is not the tightest one that she has now. So I'm going to see how I like it, but it has an upgrade from this. So depending on how it turns out, it's better. It is even better now. So I'm going to take this. In the meantime, I'm going to hit a pause button because I am going to hang this up so that it starts to flatten out a little bit because that's how I like to do it. I'll be right back. All right, now, meanwhile, I took everything out of the crinkly plastics. I didn't think you wanted to sit and listen to it. And I like to separate these out by DMC order. That will not include the ABs. I like the ABs to be separate and in the front or whatever of my group, because that's how Diamond Art Club does it. I don't know. That's just the way I like to do it. But anyways, whew, you guys, how has your week been? Mine has been pretty okay. We had, I'm trying to think of the last time I updated you, kind of what was going on. We were working on getting the house ready for inspection. That has happened already, and as far as I know, everything is okay. We had a conditional approval, and so that's good. The bad part about a conditional approval is that we don't know what other hoops they want you to jump through. Well, so as it turns out, the hoops that they want us to jump through are they want us to do everything via FHA, or First Homeowners Association, for the loan. And if you are not familiar with FHA, then it's a lot. They have you always jumping through lots of hoops. See, here's part of why I kit them up as a separate thing, because 702 is between 7. Yeah, I get confused. Anyways, conditionally approved, even with a first homeowners, they still have you jump through a lot of different hoops. They want to come in, they want to inspect everything a lot closer. It's rigmarole, and I mean, it's necessary rigmarole, but you know, it's just kind of a pain in the butt. But we are conditionally approved, which is good, but there are more hoops yet to jump through. Well, the lady who came and did our last inspection, apparently she is not approved to like authorize an FHA loan, so we have to have someone else entirely. It's kind of, I don't know, it's like not greasy, but I don't know what's on the bags. Anyways, she's not approved to conditionally approve an FHA loan. So Rocket, which is a company we're using to do the loan, wants us to jump through yet more hoops. So we will jump through their hoops. We will do the things they need us to do. But it is kind of a pain in the butt, because, you know, we just really want to get the loan, consolidate some debts, you know, bring down our APR, all those kinds of things. And it's hard to do that, move on, you know, get things done. It's whatever. I mean, there's like I said, it's just a lot of rigmarole, and we just want to get there. And sometimes when it comes to just getting there, you can't just get there. It takes time. So sorry about my chair makes all these obnoxious sounds. So it is a butt pain, but it is a necessary butt pain, and it's not my favorite, but better that we get conditionally approved with hoops to jump through than for them to outright like deny. So we'll take it as a step in the right direction, even though it sucks, and just kind of go from there. But you know, anyways, there's my sticker sheet. I like to take the other stickers, right? Especially this cute Muni Made logo. I want to make that its own sticker. I'll cut a little closer around the blues room. So yeah, that's been a big thing. In other news, I will be releasing an unboxing, unbagging sort of video from Temu, because I just picked up a bunch of brand new stones for intention pens, because as it turns out, I was missing a lot of things for making zodiac pens and making intention pens. I needed something, so I bought a bunch of stuff from Temu, and I wanted to just share that kind of like haul of stones and things, and go over the, you know, uses for them or whatever for the intention pens, just, you know, for fun. I thought it would be cool to do a different kind of unboxing intention pen supplies. I can't get the sticker off. I'm struggling. Struggle bus. But yeah, what else? Geez, I really am looking forward to doing an unbagging of that stuff for you guys, because it'll be something new, a little different, different topic, you know, all that sort of fun thing. And it's relevant because it does have to do with the intention pens. Ugh, I hate that this is curling up on me. It's driving me insane because I can't see what I'm doing. And my line is not going to be straight, but it is what it is. So it's something new, something a little different. And I think you guys will enjoy it, because then I can kind of give you a little lesson. I did want to talk a little bit about some things coming up for the channel, and that is I am going to be doing a few collaborative things with Marissa from Diamonds and Thoughts. A couple fun things that we have kind of come up with to present to the community. One, we are working on a survey, a secondary survey, and there are going to be some really weird slash fun slash interesting, look at the artwork. Isn't it the cutest? Slash fun slash interesting questions that, you know, has to do with diamond painting and the diamond painting community, and what sorts of things that you guys like to see on YouTube, and, you know, some kind of harder hitting questions, which is perfect for a channel like Marissa's channel, because that's the kind of things, not the hard hitting part, but, you know, there's a little more, I don't want to say controversy isn't the right word, but there's more on hers that have to do with her opinions and things like that on her channel. And so I thought, who better to kind of present these questions, because we want to do the survey where everybody gets to answer it, and then after that to do a thing where we talk about our opinions on the survey questions, right? So Marissa's going to start that after we get the survey put together. We're going to present it to the community so that you guys can also answer these questions and go from there. I think it's going to be really fun. I'm really looking forward to it. And I think that she's going to start out to be the one to like talk about her opinion. She's going to invite other channel people to answer the questions themselves, other YouTube creators, content creators, diamond painting content creators. And I think it'll be fun if people participate, of course. It'll be fun to see like what kinds of opinions are out there. Do we all kind of think the same? Do we think very differently? I mean, even questions like how many kits is a haul? Some people would say 3 is enough for a haul. Some people say it needs to be more than 5 or 15 or 1, right? One thing is one haul, right? I don't know. Questions like that. Fun things that have to do with the creators themselves, things that have to do with you as viewers that we think would be really fun and interesting to see what you guys think, what your opinions are, and I'm excited about that. And then also we are going to have a different kind of collaboration. She wants to, I'm going to put Kit Up under here. Kit Up. Today is technically, what's the date? I don't even know, you guys. Today is technically the 25th, so we will say 9, well, but I haven't gone to bed yet, so I'm going 9/24. Start date, end date. I'll put that on there. And then it is a square kit. Ooh, 53,900 diamonds on this canvas. Cute. Okay. And it is a 50 by 70. Here we go. I think that's good enough. That's plenty. All right. Let me get this out of the way here. Yes. And yeah, so the other thing that Marissa and I are going to do some kind of collaboration on is she wants to learn more, and her family wants to learn more about stones, herbs, those sorts of things as it has to do with the metaphysical. And I was born and raised pagan and am qualified to teach on those things. So I thought it would be fun to give Marissa a challenge and say, you know, on the one hand, I would say, okay, somebody asked me for a pen that, an intention pen, that would be for grieving. They want to grieve the loss of a loved one. They want to move on to some new patterns in their life. They want to find their way to a healing place. They need to spend some more time on self-improvement and meditation. And I'll say, okay, now tell me, what sort of wood would I use for that? What herbs, what stones? And she would give me, through research that she would do on her own time, give me some things that would work for a pen like that. And then I may have already worked on a pen like that, and I would go, okay, well, this is what I used. Let's compare notes. Or let's say I have a pen that I've already made, right? Like my Good Fortune pen, for instance. Let me pull it out and I'll show you. My Good Fortune pen, right? This one is for good fortune. It has things for luck and happiness, prosperity, banishing negativity, like a start of good new things, right? Now, I used tiger eye as the stone. I used witch's grass and echinacea. No, I'm sorry, witch's grass and jasmine as the herbs. And then I used cherry for the wood. So I would ask her, you know, I need a pen for good fortune and da-da-da-da-da. What herbs and things would you use? And then we compare notes, right? Or I tell her I used witch's grass, jasmine, tiger eye, and cherry. What sort of things would those do? And what kind of pen am I trying to make? Just some fun challenges so that she can learn more with her family about stones and herbs and different woods. And she can learn those things, and I can also use that on my channel as a segment to educate people on what sorts of things you can do with the intention pens. So I thought that would be fun. Anyways, that's a plan for the channel that I'm super excited about. And then I am still working hard at, oh, I was like, what? I got myself all confused. I'll tell you in a second. I am working really hard at getting together my next level of membership, which will have my passion project and things like that, because I am still hard at work on that. I'm recording videos. I'm getting a lot done with it. So I'm enjoying it very, very much. I got really confused because I saw 1 and then this symbol and then 155, and then I saw the symbol again and then over here, and I thought, why are there 2 of the same symbol? That's actually really smart though. I thought this was the same symbol, but I was looking at these 2 and I was like, why would they use the same symbol for number 8 and number 38? I'm dumb. It's cool. No, these are a separate symbol so that I can just put the symbol on the jar instead of putting on the DMC number and whatnot. If I don't feel like doing that, I can just put the symbol, or I could put the symbol here and then the sticker on here. Like if you wanted to just keep this how it is and just put the sticker of the symbol on there and keep them in bags, that's kind of brilliant. I'm just going to say it. It's kind of brilliant. I love it. Yeah, see, she even has the ABs separate down here on stickers, and I really like that. But this is my first time working with a Muni Made, and I am really, really, really excited. I like having something new. Now, I always keep prepped my little already cut up dryer sheets. I already have squares of those so that if I'm running into static, I can put them in the bag and shake them up and it takes the static out of them. Or I can put them in the containers if I'm running into issues. I really like that too. And I may, see, I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to do this because these are so small. So usually what I do, I don't use the serial number. I just I'll cut off the serial number because I don't need it. And then, I don't know where my little scissors went. I lost them some time ago. They're around somewhere, I'm sure. But then I take this because I'm going to use a small container like this guy here. And then I will put AB blah, blah, blah on one side and then the symbol on the other. Even though that'll be backwards, but it is what it is. I just feel like the sticker kind of fits better. I don't know why. They're the same size on both sides. Anyways, so yeah, I have these things planned for the channel, and it's hard sometimes when I'm like doing a million. See, I've already got static. It's hard when you got a million things going on or plans and you just want to do everything. You ever have that where like you have a hard time focusing in on things because you just want to do all the things? I feel like that's my life sometimes. Now, when you have that going on, what do you do to kind of bring yourself back to reality or whatever? Do you go out of your way to slow yourself down, calm yourself, you know, or do you just kind of run with it and let your imagination run free? Because I found that you can really kind of get yourself wrapped up in a lot of nonsense if you allow it to just kind of run rampant. It sucks because I want to do everything, you know? And I feel like that's been a problem for a long time, that I have all these really brilliant ideas, and then when it comes time to deliver or execute, I'm just kind of all over the place, I guess. I don't know. You know what I could also do? Nah, I want to know what the DMZ numbers are. See? That's the thing too. I think a lot of that has to do, if I'm honest, with autism. Because when you are autistic, it's like your brain runs on a different sort of wavelength. So you'll find that even during whipping chats like my lives or things like that, I'm doing 3 or 4 things all at one time. I'm not exactly focused on one thing. I tend to jump around here, there, and everywhere. And if you can follow my 3 threads of logic that I'm on, you can follow along too. But I wonder sometimes if people aren't like completely turned off by the fact that I can bounce around and then circle back eventually. Do you find that it's hard to follow what I'm talking about sometimes? Like, do I need to focus more on if I'm gonna do this thing, right? Should I focus more on keeping it together and keeping it linear? Or do you like that it moves around? Are you, excuse me, comfortable with trying to follow those 3 threads of logic that I'm on? Because I certainly don't want to put anybody off or upset anyone by having something that jumps all over the place, but it's hard. It's really hard for me to kind of bring it back in, you know, reel it in, calm it down, take it to a calm place, because I learn that way too. I found that, you know, it's funny because I had a psychiatrist, if you can call him that, when I was in detox. And I've told a few people this story, but I was in detox before I went into rehab, and I was talking to the psychiatrist, and I was telling him that, you know, it was scary to me how well I could be using my DOC, my drug of choice, and how I was still able to multitask at the job. I was like maintaining a home life. I was maintaining my job. I was keeping it all together. Like, it scared me because nobody knew that I was completely falling apart out, you know, like in my mind, I'm falling apart. I'm losing it. But I was totally able to, you know, do all of these things, and nobody knew what was happening. And he's like, well, that's not true, because people who are addicted, they're never as good at multitasking as they think they are. I'm like, well, I mean, I'm telling you that I could do 3 emails going all at one time and write part of this one, write part of that one. I don't ever do things in a linear fashion, not knowing, of course, at this time that I had autism. I wasn't diagnosed. And, you know, so I don't think he was fully understanding what I was trying to say, and he wasn't looking at it from the perspective of an autistic person who was trying to get sober. So, you know, he, I think, was attempting to kind of embarrass me a little bit, because he had, and they have to do this anyways, not the embarrassment part, but they have to do it anyways, where you, they give you 3 words to remember, because they're trying to assess like where you are mentally when you come into detox. And so he asked me to remember 3 words, and then they ask you at some point in the conversation to recite those 3 words back. And he gave me the 3 words, okay? And then when he asked me to recite them back to him, I told him car, table, pencil is what I said. Now, I'll tell you why in a minute, but he basically uses that as an opportunity to laugh at me because he's like, see, you're not as good at multitasking as you thought. It was car, table, eraser. And I was like, oh, well, I'm like, I guess in my mind, I must have been picturing the eraser at the end of the pencil and not the full pencil. But okay. I stewed on it. I was pissed. I was really pissed at this guy for like essentially making me feel like a dick. And so I thought about it all that night. All that night I thought about it. And I was supposed to meet with him again not the next day, but the day after that. And I meet up with him. He opens the door for me. And I was like, hey, how's it going? By the way, car, table, pencil. 2 days later, right? Because again, I'd stewed on it. And he's like, this is what he says out loud to me. A person who is in my first few days of recovery from a crippling opiate addiction. He says, yeah, I'm not really impressed by that. I'll be impressed by that if you remember it 6 months from now when you're back in here. Let that marinate for a second. That's what he just said to a person in their first 3 days of recovery. Yeah. So all of that said, my mind works in a way where I can follow these threads of logic and circle back to the point that I was making earlier, which was with autism, you go this direction, this direction, this direction, and then you finish telling what you were telling over here, and then you go back to this story and you tell a little bit more, but then you're back in the middle, and then you tell some more of the middle, and then you go back and you finish this story, and then you finish this story. That's the way that it can work for autistic brains. Mine especially. So if ever it's too much, please somebody, I hope someone calls me out that like, what the hell are you talking about? Because I forget that not everyone is thinking the same way that I'm thinking, right? And in my mind, I was proud of all of the multitasking that I was doing in my own head that I thought I was going to get credit for, kind of, and I guess maybe I didn't need to get credit and be proud of myself for maintaining while on drugs, but I did. So sorry. Sugar found something to flip out about on the other porch, on my 3-season porch. So yeah, I didn't need a pat on the back for trying to prove that I was maintaining while I was on drugs, but I also did not have a diagnosis then. So if I'm ever like way too all over the map, please, you guys, let me know. I won't have any idea if somebody doesn't tell me. So anyways, I do want to, before I get too far into this, I want to make sure that I read the tarot cards and show Miss Marissa how to shuffle them, because I told her that I would show it in my next whip and chat. Because it is important that, if you want to know something and you ask, I'm going to show you how to do it. But yeah, so having an autistic brain, when it comes to things, I jump around, and so I apologize if that's ever way too much for people. So I do not do what you can do with tarot cards or whatnot, and the reason is I don't want to damage them. You can shuffle like you would a normal deck of cards, right? Like you can go like this, and then you can bridge them or just push them together. I don't do it that way because I don't want to damage my cards. I take them, now you got to kind of have big old man hands like I do, but I take them and I shuffle this way, and I also take them and I take some and I flip some back and forth, because these have reverse and divine meanings. So depending on what direction they're facing, you want to kind of break them up a little bit and have some that are going upright, some that are going the opposite. Oh, now, whenever I am either flipping cards or I'm shuffling, if one of them falls out, like this one just did, I put that one on the top because that's the one that's supposed to be for my reading. It happens a lot. So I put that one on top just the way it fell. It fell this way. I put it on top this way because then I'm going to turn it this way to read what the card is, right? So let's find out what that was. Ooh, Ecstasis is what it's called. It's a beautiful card. Look at that. Ooh, fancy. Ecstasis. Number 2. Let's find out what that means. Okay, ecstasis. Put you right there. You can look at that while I'm looking in the book here. Number 1 is unity, ecstasis. Ecstasis. Ecstasy, joy, rapture, and motivation are the key words for ecstasis. And then I go to starter reading, which is right here. Ecstasy is something people seek. It feels better than good. It feels, well, ecstatic. We experience it in tiny bursts and in bigger surges. It enables us to recognize the sacred nature of our own being as an experienced fact, not merely a theory or article of faith. Ecstasy is not something we can make within ourselves, but something that flows through us when we open ourselves to it. It fills us with power and with the motivation to grow, to become what we have the positive potential of being, and to fulfill our purpose in being here and now on this planet. When we are feeling these surges of joy, we are empowered and we know that we are on an appropriate track for us, the track that leads to greater meaning and fulfillment in our lives. This card in a reading says, among other things, go for it. It confirms that we are on course, moving in a good direction, and that we are in harmony with the great song. It says great joy and great accomplishment are within your reach. Its song also lights up and empowers the cards around it, healing the past, intensifying the moment, enlightening the future. Oh, what a nice card. You know, I feel like sometimes in life, we need to be reminded that even though something can be really freaking terrifying, starting a new thing or a new adventure, a new business deal, a new, right? A new anything. New, the kids are in a new school, or new house that you're moving into or buying, or new anything. We get so wrapped up, I feel like, in the panic of it all, the existential crises of it all, that we forget to be happy too, to be ecstatic, to be excited, to allow that to marinate inside of us. My energy tends to end up in a nervous energy, like it feels almost not deserved, I guess. I don't know how to explain that. I allow myself to not believe that the thing that I want to accomplish, that I'm going to accomplish, and then I write this self-fulfilling prophecy of failure, and I find that we can often do that in our lives because we are so ready to fail, to for lack of better words, to fuck it up, right? And I think that we will often allow ourselves, I need to not use so many of the tiny ones, so I'm going to move on and use some of these bigger ones too. That we that we can allow ourselves to talk ourselves out of success because we are so busy worrying about the failure of it all, instead of remembering that sometimes you just got to be happy. You just gotta be happy about stuff. You gotta let it marinate and be joyful and love where you are and appreciate what you've got and the hard work you had to do to get there. You've got to learn to be free a little bit, and it's not easy. It is not easy. And so that feeling of ecstasy or ecstaticness, you can talk yourself out of it really quickly because you assume, and sometimes mistakenly, that you're just bound to fail for some reason. And I am definitely one of those people. I allow myself to believe that I've already screwed it up too much. It's not rescuable. It's not savable. And I don't allow myself to just be happy for a change. And you know, like, a part of me is like, oh my gosh, these intention pens, they're so cool. I've never seen anything like them. I'm so excited. And then on the other hand, I'm like, but I'm really not that great with turning pens yet. Like, I could be so much better. I see all these other pen makers and I'm forgetting to be really ecstatic about the fact that I came up with something new. And I think, you know, they're okay. Maybe they're not the best, but they really are great. They do look awesome. I am proud of every one that I make. So, you know, I think one of you today probably needed to hear what it says, you know, that it's important we let ourselves feel what we feel without denial or blocking, so that we process those feelings naturally until they transform within us. You know, like that whole fake it till you make it. One of you guys needs to fake it till you make it. Stop questioning everything and just do, right? And then on top of that, it says, you know, among other things, go for it. It confirms we are on course, moving in a good direction, and that we are in harmony with the great song. What are you doing in your life right now? Are you questioning whether or not it's the right thing? Because it sounds to me like the card is saying go for it. And I have to remember to go for it too, and to be proud, and to you know, to appreciate what I've got. I'm trying to see if they'll fit in here. I guess I'm gonna let me pour them in first and see how they fit, and then if they don't fit, I have a little bugging on my hand there. And if they don't fit, we'll pour them into a bigger one. But that's part of why I don't put a sticker on immediately, I'm telling you. It's so easy to get wrapped up in the I can'ts and the nopes. Maybe. It'll be a close one. It's going to be one of those times where I'm not going to be able to close the lid, I bet, without, like, making drills fly everywhere. That's okay. We'll figure it out. Yeah, we get really wrapped up in the I can'ts of it all, and we should just trust and believe that we're on the right path. And sometimes trusting your gut is everything. It's everything. It's the way that you can really truly come to believing in you you know? I'm going to put this one in a big one. I have a hard time with that. I do. Like even the YouTube thing. It took me a long time. And you know, I had the question, I had a question come up, and I'm not going to be specific on it because it's actually going to be one of the survey questions that I was speaking on, and I don't want to talk about that yet because I think it's important to do it in the right way, yada, yada, yada. I will say that it was a topic that came up on someone else's whip and chat, which is what kind of spurred me into coming up with the idea of this survey in the first place. When Marissa and I were talking about some things we wanted to do with our channels and how we could collaborate on things and whatnot. And when this idea came about, it was partly because a whip and chat had a specific topic came up, and I got to getting in my feels about it. Like I was really kind of in my hurt feelings. And again, like no one else can control the way that something that they have said makes you feel. Only you can control your emotions about it. So yes, that first, right? I understand they can't bug me if I don't let them bug me. They weren't trying to bug anybody. They really weren't. They even mentioned, like, I mean, no offense. This is my opinion, and they're entitled to it. But they said something that as a new YouTuber, I got to feeling some type of way about it. And little hurt feelings, whatever. And so I got in my little fifis. It spurred me to want to start the survey, talk to Marissa about it, whatever. And it's because I get that panicked sensation, like I shouldn't even be bothering with this. I don't have any right. I'm too new. I'm too inexperienced. I'm not as good as I think. And if I allowed that person's opinion of me or of where I'm at in my experience, etc., that I could allow something like that to tear me down utterly, throw me off course, and that's not fair. It's not fair for me to allow myself, because again, I have control over what I think and what I do, not them. So I can't blame them for how I feel. But I got in my feelings. I can't do that. I can't allow that outside noise to affect the decisions that I make, right? So I'm trying really hard not to let outside noise affect what I choose to do and how I choose to get there. Because I really could. And I could shut the whole thing down and say, screw it, forget the pens, forget the YouTube. I'm not experienced enough, I'm not good enough, and just leave it all, hang it all. And I don't feel like I'm any worse than anybody else because I put in work, right? I am running into a lot of static with the drills. Okay, so I'm going to show a little trick that I picked up or was told about, and I'm going to try it. Apparently, you can take a Q-tip, right, and some alcohol. I got a bottle of alcohol here. It's just isopropyl alcohol, 91%. I'm going to put a little bit of alcohol on the Q-tip. I'm not going to spill it on the table, but there's now alcohol on this Q-tip, and apparently you can rub it inside of the bag. You like rub it in the bag with the drills. And apparently you like let it dry, essentially. Like shake them up, let them dry. Because, you know, alcohol evaporates. Let's see if it evaporates. And if it takes the static out. I mean, so far, like the ones that are sticking to the back of the stickers, that always happens. But, so far, I mean, it smells like alcohol, but okay. They can finish drying inside of the container, right? Because, like, you know, if they're still a little clumpy from being wet, they can dry in here, but then I can put a couple of little squares of this, you know, like, that's good. Okay. I mean, it worked. They all came out of the bag. So that's something. Cool. Little tip for you. You can try rubbing alcohol or isopropyl alcohol. Yeah, and this is like, it goes beyond imposter syndrome, because I know when I first started the channel, I was dealing with that. I was dealing with imposter syndrome because there are these just established people in the YouTube market, in the pen making market, like in everything. And, you know, I could really get myself into a place where I just say, hang it, stuff it, I'm not going to do it, and give up. And I don't want to do that. I really don't. I don't think that anyone, in their opinion, should... See, got more static. I'm going to do the alcohol thing again. Because I've been trying to blow, like, hot breath in the bag, and that's not really working. So I'm going to try alcohol, because it's supposed to do a thing. And I mean, it seems to be working. I'll rub it around on the drills, and then look at all the... That's pretty cool. So I think... I don't remember who told me that, but 10 points to Gryffindor is what I... Actually, that sounds like a Ravenclaw thing. I'm going 10 points to Ravenclaw on that one. Yeah, bam, look at that. It's pretty awesome. So, note to y'all, you can use alcohol. And then I will put a little bit of dryer sheet in there just because it continues working even after the alcohol dries. Yeah, I'm tired of living in that space, you guys. I want to be excited, and I want to be ecstatic, and I want to feel like no one owns my space but me, and I don't need to answer to anybody else. New, old, established, whatever. Everyone's point of view is valid. Now, if nobody watches, then nobody watches. That's completely different. If nobody listens, nobody listens. That's completely different. If nobody buys my pens, then nobody buys. And then I find out that, okay, I am not as good as I think I am, and maybe I need more practice or whatever. But the only way I'm going to find that out is by doing the thing, getting better, practicing, you know, whatever. But whatever it is that you want to go for, the card is saying go for it. And I need to go for it. And I need to not let that, what that person said, have me sitting here second guessing, because I have been. Those who talk with me on the Discord, y'all know, I've been thinking about it. I've been overthinking about it. I have. Because, you know, we talked about what was said in the Discord. And, you know, I got other people's opinions and their thoughts on the matter. And some people had differing points of view. Some had the same points of view, but everybody's opinion was valid. And the one thing that did ring true was, you know, don't let the bastards grind you down. Because really in life, a lot of people, not necessarily the person who initially like made the statement that kind of hurt my fifis, but other people in life will go out of their way to make you feel some type of way so that you don't continue on the path that you're on, so that they don't have as much competition, or they don't have to deal with you or whatever. And you know what? Stuff that. Stuff that. Because maybe they're scared. And let them be scared. Let them be scared. Maybe they're worried because they need to be worried. I don't know. But you got to go for it sometimes. You just got to go for it. And the benefits almost always outweigh the drawbacks when it comes to putting stock and belief in yourself. You will always be going the correct direction if you are putting stock and belief in yourself. At least that's how I feel about it. I feel like just keep swimming, you know? Just keep doing what you were doing and trust your gut. Continue on the same direction, the same path that you were on, because it sounds to me like the cards believe in you and I believe in you too. You just got to believe in you as much as I do, and the cards do. And damn it, Naomi, you got to believe in yourself as much as the cards do. It's hard, though. I know. I know I struggle. I do. I struggle every day. Every single day. I don't want to. But you got this. You do. You got this. Today's pep talk brought to you by Fairies Oracle cards. Apparently, oop, that wasn't closed all the way. And I probably needed to hear that as much as anybody. Oh, there's a drill in there, that's why. I probably needed to hear that as much as anybody, because I've been in a mind space lately. I'm not really sure why. I think it's just that nagging self-doubt. That nagging self-doubt that allows me to believe that I'm not good enough, or I'm not experienced enough, or whatever. I just got to keep working at it, you know. But and it's like I don't want to beat a dead horse and say, me, I'm not good, it's me, so that people like puff me up and tell me how awesome I am. That's not what this is, you guys. It really isn't. I get it. I tell people, you know, RuPaul says, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? I apply that to everything. If you can't be proud of yourself, how can you be proud of somebody else? Like, it's all the things. It's all the things. I got to put more stock in me. I have to remember that I am proud of myself in the struggles, in the successes, in the failures too. I'm very proud. And it's okay. It's okay to be proud of yourself. That's one other thing I have to remind myself, because it can feel like I'm not supposed to be. Like I'm doing something wrong. I'm not doing the right thing because of it. Like, it's a whole thing. Pride is okay as long as you're not, you know, ridiculous about it. Pride is okay. Be ecstatic. Be excited. Be generous with your kindness too. Because, you know, there are some people out there that will tell you, be kind to others. You don't know what they're going through. And those are the same people that will... Those are the same people that will be the first people to just be rude as crap to others, make them feel like utter trash. Seriously, take it from me. Be kind to others, because you really don't know what they're going through. You don't know what their day is like. But really, really, truly, and honestly, guys, be kind to yourself, because you deserve it too. As much as anybody, you deserve it too. And also on that note, sometimes, just sometimes, you might cut yourself a little too much slack and allow yourself to say some really heinous crap or do some really heinous crap, and then, you know, you're like, but I gotta cut myself some slack. Not on everything. Not on everything. But on some of those things, yes, definitely. Well, y'all, that's my hour. I'll send you your bill in the mail for your therapy session today. But really, truly, and honestly, you guys, I appreciate that you're here with me to talk things out, to think things through, to plan things, to love others, all the stuff, all of it. Thank you. Always. Thank you. I hope that you heard what you needed to hear today. And I know I certainly did. But as ever, you guys, I love you madly. I hope that wherever you are in this great, big, beautiful world of ours, that you yourself are having a terrific morning, evening, or afternoon. Whatever time it is, wherever you're at. I'm out of here, y'all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.